You give us a little bit of an understanding of what all does styling include?
Styling is like a tool. For me, I started drawing inspiration from poo.
Oh my god!
I think a lot of people these days, they don't really know their personal style.
So NSC is there to help you experiment with your style. Do they ever get to keep these clothes, or is it just like a one and done deal?
Of course, you don't want to rewear stuff.
But is it as glamorous as it looks, or are we missing something? So today we have a fashion insider with us. Someone who can give us a sneak peek inside the world of glamour and fashion in India. I think there's so many aspects of this that are not known to people. So today we have Apoorva Singh, a fashion stylist who's done multiple brand campaigns for brands across all major fashion categories. I plan to poke and probe her to give us the inside scoop of how this industry works, how you can get into it, and some tips and tricks that we can take away from them. Let's get into it. Hi Apoorva.
Hi Nikita.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you could take out time for us. Who thought, man? Who thought after so many years today we will be doing something like this? But I would not do it with anybody else other than you. So I'm very happy that, I can use you. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, so for everybody who does not know your background, why don't you give a little bit of an introduction?
So I studied fashion design from Pearl. I did my 4-year undergraduation course. Post that, I started working in the industry. I worked in an export house. I was working as an assistant designer. Then after that, I started studying UI UX also briefly. I'm also a dancer, so I keep doing that side by side. I think everything creative is just coming in one bracket. And post that, I started assisting people. I always had a inclination towards styling and art direction. I realized later on, I think that was my calling, and I started assisting, working with people, and now I'm a full-time fashion stylist.
Okay, so I think a lot of people do not fully understand what styling is, myself included. I think at one point I definitely thought styling meant dressing up celebrities for events. That was my nomad definition. So why don't you give us a little bit of an understanding of what all does styling include?
Styling has a lot to do with art direction also.
Okay.
So when we talk about celebrity styling, for example, it's one aspect of styling.
Okay.
So like celebrity, there is movie styling, character styling.
Oh, true.
There is brand styling, where we are working for a brand and we're styling their garments, their products.
Okay.
That's the macro level of what styling is. Under that, styling basically is like a voice that helps to define the story of your whatever thing that you want to promote. For example, like we talked about celebrity styling. As a stylist, what I would do is I would try to promote the story of a celebrity or what their being is, who they are. That is what styling, that will come into play. It's like a tool that
what their personality is. You want that to shine through the styling.
Exactly. So styling is like a tool which we use very creatively, like a magic wand.
Yeah.
And then, for example, if it's a brand shoot, so then styling will be used in a different perspective. But thing that has to be kept in mind is we're promoting and we're showing the product or the story.
Correct.
So it's like a voice.
Okay.
That has to be told, and it's and it can take many shapes and forms.
Yeah.
If I have to talk about styling in terms of technicalities, we then work with colors, we work with stories, we work with body type, structure.
That includes much more than what a normal person would think, I think. And it's interesting that you mentioned movie styling. My brain did not even go there. So that is very interesting. So what drew you to styling specifically?
As a child, I've always liked watching movies.
Okay.
Still I do.
Yeah.
The thing that always pulled me towards movies was the characters and their particular stories. So for me, I used to connect with stories through clothing. Like, ऐसी personality hai, why is she wearing this outfit? Why this check shirt? Maybe why? So I started noticing these little things for my own self. And then later on, that's how I started styling myself. So for me, I used to take like a challenge, like how I can style one kurta in different ways.
Correct.
So that was something that really intrigued me. And then later on, I realized that, through clothes, through styling, I can tell a story.
Yeah.
There's a bigger picture to it. So I think that is somewhere my calling, where I can tell stories to people through clothes.
Okay, so Who was the style icon? But I'm assuming it's Bollywood. I don't even think about. I'm assuming it's Bollywood. Is there one character or one person whose style really? Because I know who I'm thinking about, and I will tell you who I'm. Yeah, but I think there was this one icon. I think that defined personality and style that went hand in hand. I want to know what you're thinking.
For me, I started drawing inspiration from Pooh.
Oh my god, that's exactly it, dude. I think Pooh's style personified her just personality.
Yeah.
You know, like who she was came out in the garments
like
that she wore, in the lipstick that she wore. Yeah, like she was not loud, but she was classy.
Yes.
Like Bole Chodiya Pyasi Pink is my favorite.
The subtleness also.
It's backless is my favorite. I just feel like she did a really good job. So I just wanted to know if you and I are on the same page.
Absolutely, dude. Like the red garment that she wore in here. Dekha tumko jab.
Yeah.
That pant, the red pants I bought for myself. And I used to dance wearing that all the time.
Yeah. No. So I completely understand when you say that.
Character it was.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you start into the styling industry? What did you do to get your sort of footing into it?
For beginning, I started assisting. I started working with people who are already working in the industry.
Okay.
That's where I started. And then eventually I thought that, okay, I've understood the industry a little and now I felt ready at that time. And then I thought this is my time.
So how did you reach out to these people? How did you find your first person to assist?
Social media.
Social media?
Email, Gmail, whatever. Do just put yourself out there.
Okay.
Put your work. Just pitch yourself like however I did. So it was I really like wanted to do it, and I think they saw the honesty in my work.
Yeah.
So yes, email, Instagram, wherever you think you can reach out to these people.
Okay. And then how did you transition from working for somebody else into doing something of your own? Like what all did that take?
So basically, if you're assisting, you're like a shadow of the person, and you have to be the shadow. You have to understand everything from A to Z. So I understood that. I made a note for myself that what I can take from it. Ask questions.
Okay.
Like, a lot of questions. Let it be stupid questions, but ask whatever you feel is true to you. Ask. And then, like I told you, I think that it's just like a gut feeling where you think and that, okay, I can take this step for myself. And surprisingly, a brand, they came to me and I worked for them for free.
Okay.
I didn't charge because I was also new and I wanted to prove for myself. I wanted to have my own values and this thing. So I did the work, they liked it, and that's how we started building on my journey.
Okay. Okay. And in terms of pros and cons, of course, you love it and you're in there. What are some cons maybe or some pros that somebody should think about when they want to pursue being a stylist in India?
Cons, I feel it's a very subjective topic. Like people,
that's fine.
I did not have, or maybe in future I might face. Right now I have.
Oh, I love everything about her job.
Yeah, because
everybody, guys, come become a stylist. Okay.
Of course, if you love something, then you don't have. I mean, the cons don't really come into notice.
Okay.
Yes, there are working hours which are a little unlikely, but of course,
if you love what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and pros, I mean, you get to have your own voice. You can share your ideas, your concepts. You have a team working with you, so you learn how to be with the team, understand different perspectives, respect them, still put your ground like forward.
So if somebody wanted to be a stylist or came to you, hey, listen, I want to pursue this as a profession, is that something you would encourage? You think the industry has scope? It does well in India?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have the potential in you, the scope will come from whatever. I mean, you have to trust your own gut.
Okay.
Of course, I'll encourage it because I have found my voice and I really enjoy doing it. So I think for someone who can think they have this talent in them, they should definitely go for it.
Cool. Is it as glamorous as it looks? I mean, come on. Okay, think about it. I think whenever you see, even if it's, a BTS of shoots, or when the brand posts something, when they put BTS of movies and they're showing all these outfits, or celebrities putting BTS of events, it has a glamour effect to it, right? You can see all these designer outfits as hair and makeup. So I feel like from an outsider point of view, it looks like the life.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, but is it as glamorous as it looks, or are we missing something?
Of course, I mean, it is not very glamorous inside.
There is a glamour factor to it, little bit. If you're the one at maybe center stage, it is more glamorous, or even then you think it's a strenuous job, like as a model or as a celebrity.
No, of course, like, so there's like a story that A, set B, set C, and the final product, of course, it has to be glamorous. That's how it's orchestrated. The starting parts are conceptualizing the whole thing, coming up with a storyline, the models, the casting. Of course, there's a lot of brain things involved. So, but there is glamour in that also. I feel like glamour.
So you find it as a glamorous job. You think there's definitely a glamour quotient to it.
Of course. And you get to be in front of the camera, it's glamour.
Yeah. Generally, when you work as a stylist or you are going for a brand shoot, how does that work? Do you first need to build a relationship with the brand, or once you're established enough, you usually just get gigs as through social media or through agencies or something like that?
Yeah, so it starts like that. For me, people reach out to me through word of mouth, through social media. Agencies also get me some work. And the relationship building happens, and then we connect with the brand. We talk about their philosophy, the brand philosophy, if the brand wants to. So for example, if it's a sari brand, then I would want to know the reason why they started making the sari, everything that has to work around, which I can help in my best potential to reach it more forward to the audience.
So let's do one thing. Let's say I'm a shoe brand. I need to make a campaign. I approach you as a stylist. What all does that entail now on your end to get me sort of my desired brand campaign style?
So for example, let's say Skechers. Skechers reached out to me and they said, this is our campaign for spring summer. This is our new collection, and we want you to come up with an idea for a campaign. First of all, I understand Skechers' key target audience. Like what do they cater to? Who is their market? Then I would work around maybe like a story for them. That is the most closest to Skechers, which is fun, athletic. Then we work on styling. We have a styling deck. We will, if it's for an outdoor shoot, so then we'll plan like a sporty thing we will have in mind. We will cast people, we will cast models similar to the ideology that we have, the look and the mood that we have going around. And I think that's how we start building it. So when you say that you're going to make a campaign around it, shoes obviously Skechers will give you. How do you get the rest of the stuff? Like you said, you want a sporty look. That involves clothing. So how do you procure that? If Skechers is the example, Skechers has their own clothing thing also. So we can...
Of course. Then to baat khatam hogi. But if it's just a shoe brand?
So if it's just some other shoe brand, we try to get other brands on board who have the similar vibe. They share the same taste, and my goal obviously is to make a thing where everyone can benefit from each other. It's like a community where everyone can take advantage, show their work, and the image can be built in a very beautiful way.
So does that mean that you reach out to other brands that fit into the campaign style? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
And how would you start that conversation? Of course, you have to give them something of relevance. I'm assuming that's content. So you give them good pictures, you give them good videos, but how do you initiate that conversation with the brand as a stylist to tell them, hey, we're doing this shoot and we want some of your product to make this campaign?
So we reach out through social media. If they are connected on email, then we
send them an
email, and that's how we connect with the whole thing.
And in the email, what all do you include as a pitch?
I tell them that this is something that they can take advantage from, or this is a place where they can show their work also. It's a good place where they can also market. And in return, we give them high quality pictures, we give them credits. So it's a good place where they can market themselves. They can be seen in this space.
So I'm assuming this is the same approach you would do if you have to style a celebrity. Do you reach out to the brand and being like, I have this person, this actress, this actor that I would like to style. This is the date of the event. This is like, how does that structure differ from a brand shoot?
Okay, it's majorly the same.
Okay.
We reach out to brands. We tell them if this is the celebrity that we have on board, and I reach out to the brand. So, for example, if it's a wedding, then I would look at all the wedding brands that I think are closest to the celebrity's mood and vibe. And I wouldn't want to make them wear anything which they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
So then I work with the client. I ask, and then we work out if it's a night event. Then we work around with colors, their body type, structure, and whatever the closest the brand and the celebrity are related to, we work around and we get them on board.
So tell me, majority of the clothes, I remember seeing this on a Coffee with Karan episode, are majority of the clothes indeed borrowed as a celebrity? Like, let's say if it's not a promotional event, of course I think when it's to do with a movie or when it's to do an interview, I'm sure it's sourced. But I'm saying personal events, like you said, wedding, like you said, attending another celebrity's wedding.
Yeah.
In these occasions also they are able to borrow clothes from designers.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if the brand is okay with the collaboration, it's a brilliant way for the brand to be seen through a platform, like if a celebrity is trying to promote that. So I think it's brilliant and people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're supporting local businesses and it's amazing how, everything is connected.
Yeah. So tell me, do celebrities ever have hiccups around, like this is very elementary, but let's say today as somebody who runs a rental platform, we're trying to embody a very similar concept to what celebrities are doing. We get some questions around fittings, we get questions around hygiene, because at the end of the day, what celebrities get are samples, or do our garments made specially for celebrities?
No, there are samples.
They get sample pieces.
Yeah, but there are times when celebrities
get custom outfits also. But let's say majority of the time there are potentially samples.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of a celebrity you are. So when it is a sample piece, correct me if I'm wrong, can the same sample go to multiple celebrities by changing the size? Because my understanding is this one designer that I spoke to told me that they had made a sample piece, let's say in a small to extra small range. He had told me calendar wise that this is going on this round, it is going on this round. I'm not talking A-listed celebrities, a combination of influencers and celebrities.
Okay.
But this was my understanding. Is that a thing? Do they get garments that have been worn previously and of course cleaned and then given again?
Yes, absolutely. They do that and they get them custom fit according to their size. If there is a difference in size, they will, if the brand is kind enough, they will do that.
Okay.
And I think that's a very healthy way to move forward.
Okay. So I'm saying, let's say for these occasions when they're attending weddings, this, that, and they're, getting garments from these high-end designers, do they ever get to keep these clothes, or is it just like a one and done deal?
Mostly no, they don't get to keep. But if there is another relationship with the brand, they want to.
If you want to gift,
Yes.
But most of the time,
I think so.
Yeah, but most of the time you're saying mostly it's sourced.
It's sourced.
So you tell me, from your personal opinion, now that you're part of this industry, you see celebrities do this, what do you think about renting? Do you think that this is something that is feasible for regular people also?
Yes, absolutely. See, for example, if somebody has to go for an event, I think a lot of people these days, they don't really know their personal style. I feel that's where NSC comes into picture very nicely, where, a person can rent clothes, they can wear it, and then, like you said, no strings couture, they don't have like a commitment with it, and that's a brilliant way where they can experiment with their style, keeping in mind there is no strings couture. So of course they can rent it away.
Correct.
So
but I'm saying
it's a brilliant way to keep it.
Okay, so I'm saying outside of the concept, of course, we're there to help you find your personal style. But I'm saying generally, as somebody, let's say I know my personal style, I know that these garments suit me, but I have like 10 occasions to go this year. Let's say I have a wedding, let's say I have some work event, I have a bachelorette to attend, I have like these random big occasions in a year that as one does, and I think personally, I end up spending a lot of money when it comes to these events with full intent of not re-wearing these garments. So maybe it's a me problem or maybe it's a peers problem, but I'm just saying, you being in touch with people who are also in love with fashion, who like to invest in fashion, you being in somebody who would invest in fashion, do you think outside of finding your personal style, there is merit in rental platforms or pre-loved platforms or, you know, sites that sell vintage stuff, be it Indian vintage or like, you know, luxury vintage like Louis Vuittons or like, you know, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is scope there, and again, like it's a matter of personal choice. But I agree. If you have like so many things to go, and of course you don't want to rewear stuff, renting is a beautiful way to go about it.
Okay. 10 years, 15 years from today, how do you think fashion will be consumed, or how do you hope fashion will be consumed?
Starting being with people understanding their personal choices, personal style. I think that is something that if they understand, then they'll already building a confident image for themselves.
Yeah.
And of course that happens through
trial and error.
Trial and error, exactly.
Yeah.
Then one is that like staple clothing that they have for themselves, they understand, okay, this is my style. But at the same time, they are open to experimenting. They're open to, you know, trying out new things for themselves, because why not?
Yeah, why put yourself in a box?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I feel, yeah, it should be a combination of both the things.
Yeah.
Where you're trying also, you're combining both the things together to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Put yourself as a confident person out there.
Yeah. So NSC is there to help you experiment with your style.
Absolutely.
While you invest in, you know, your staple pieces that you see rewearability in, and, you know, that are evergreen pieces that will last you for, you know, multiple years. Okay. So thank you so much. This is the majority of the questions I had for you, but I want to have a little bit of a fun element. So I have a few rapid fire questions for you, just to get a little bit more inside your brain, you know, how you work personally. Okay?
Cool.
So whenever you're ready. Ready? Okay. Brand shoots or celebrity styling, what is your preferred gig?
Brand shoots.
Brand shoots. Okay. And Western clothes or Indian clothes, what do you prefer to style?
Indian.
Bright colors or dark colors, your preferred color palette?
Right.
Okay. One celebrity or influencer that you'd like to style?
You.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Manifesting it all.
Love it. Okay. Something you love, hate, and tolerate about being a stylist?
I love that whatever voice I have, I can put it across.
Okay.
That I love. Hate.
Yeah, she loves her job. There is nothing to hate.
Nothing as of now.
Okay.
And what was the
Tolerate?
Tolerate.
Working hours?
Maybe some days. On some days, yes.
Okay.
Working hours.
Okay. And finally, how would you define your personal style?
Okay. So my personal style is a mix of fun, bold, confident, sometimes sexy also.
Okay.
So like it's a mixture of all of this.
So what is a go-to in your cupboard? A staple in your cupboard that you think everybody should have?
Black pants.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that is something you can pair up very easily with a lot of colors.
Yeah.
A blazer also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Something to work on.
Perfect. That is all I had for you, Apoorva. Thank you so much for taking out the time and having this conversation, and let us pick your fashion insider brain, which is exactly what we wanted. Today's podcast with Apoorva gave us an insight into what it's like to be a stylist, how you can get into the industry, and what are the different categories within it. She also tells us how the celebrity world works with sourcing and procuring garments for their special occasions. It summarizes the nuances of the styling world and how we can use fashion to our advantage. We hope you found some valuable information in this podcast, and we will be back very soon with more such informative topics. See you guys.